very serious constitutional ramifications. So, Mr. Speaker, our prayer is very simple. Resolutions of the House are serious business. It is not a place for trivial business. Resolution of a House is intended to be obeyed, and in this case, can we afford to send the Committee on Public Petitions on a wild goose chase? We cannot. That will amount to wasting legislative time, which we don't have the time to do. So, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of myself and my colleagues, we are asking this House to do what is consequential in the circumstance, which is to strike away this thing from our records. That resolution should be struck away from the records, and the order to the committee should also be withdrawn. It should be rescinded. That is my submission, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Please, there is personal explanation, no debate on it. You should know that.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
No. You can't join issues together. He has said it, and I'm sure he said it on behalf of all Iboyi members. Honorable Igaru, your personal explanation is noted, and appropriate actions will be taken to see if there are any infractions on the motion or not. If there is, we take appropriate actions to actually ratify that. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Kumo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and my respected colleagues. Usman Bello Kumo is my name. I represent Akko Federal Constituency. I'm from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, I rise under Order 8, Rule 6, personal explanation. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, I rise to express
Leader,
my heartfelt gratitude to the President of this country, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, for graciously approving the conversion of a medical facility in Kumo to a status of a Federal Medical Center, Kumo. This gesture is in no way to be expressed other than to come by way of personal explanation. We are truly grateful and indebted to Mr. President. The Federal Medical Center Kumo will be a transformative
Minority Leader, the Chairman, Ethics and Privilege is looking at you.
Gombe State and Northeast in general. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, I want to use this medium too to appreciate my governor, Governor Mohamed Inuehaya, who provided a down-to-earth and a global standard facility and handed it over to the federal government for the purpose of the Federal Medical Center. To give this development a piece of legislation, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas Zazaw and my humble self have already submitted a piece of legislation to enable us amend the Federal Medical Center Act 2022 to enable the establishment of Federal Medical Center Kumo. Thank you, my honorable colleagues. We are looking forward to an expedient and support to achieve this establishment of the Federal Medical Center Kumo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Kumo. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 19 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Environmental, Social and Health Impact Assessment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. National Park Service Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. National Electoral Offences Commission Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Nigerian Technical Aid Corps Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Department of State
Please,
Services
let's avoid the
Trust
hour.
Fund
Avoid the
Establishment Bill
hour.
2025,
Members,
first
please sit
reading.
down.
Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Naval Training Command Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Federal University of Science and Technology, Kano State Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. National Sport Development Fund Establishment Bill 2025, first reading.
Honorable colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of 4 reports of the Committee on Finance. Standing in the name of Honorable James Faleke, Honorable Faleke is invited to present the reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is James Faleke. I represent Ikeja. Federal Constituency from Lagos. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Finance on a bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federation, federal, states, and local governments, prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities, and for related matters, HB 1756. Mr. Speaker, I rise that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Finance on a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishments Act, number 13/2007, and enact the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill to establish Nigerian Revenue Service, charged with powers of assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruable to the government of the Federation and for related matters, HB 1757. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Finance on a bill for an act to establish Joint Revenue Board, the Tax Appeal Tribunal, and the Office of the Tax Ombudsman for the harmonization, coordination, and settlement of disputes arising from revenue administration in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 1758. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Finance on a bill for an act to repeal certain acts on taxation and consolidate the legal frameworks relating to taxation and enact the Nigerian Tax Act to provide for taxation of income, transactions, and instruments, and for related matters, HB 1759. Mr. Speaker, thank you. I so move.
Honorable Adodogwa, can you please second?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Alhassan Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the good people of Dogwa, Tudunwada Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise, like you directed, to second the motion to take these bills as moved by my honorable colleague, Right Honorable James Faleke, with regards to the sundry bills on taxations and tax-related matters. As moved by him concurrently, I also second concurrently. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Faleke, please proceed. The third business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on Judiciary on a bill for an act to amend the Federal High Court Act, Cap F12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to provide for increase in the number of judges of the court, provide for retention of revenue generated by the court and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Mahmoud Abdullahi. Honorable members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 3rd December 2024. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Abdullahi is invited to present the report. Honorable Mahmoud Abdullahi, not around? Report step down. The fourth business of the day is presentation of 5 reports of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions, standing in the name of Honorable Abiodun Isiak Akilade. Honorable Akilade is invited to present the reports.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. Abiodun Isiak Akilade is my name. Representing Yewa South, Ikpuka Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move that this House receive the report of Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Fisheries and Aquaculture, Olupono, Osun State, and for related matters, HB 849. Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I also move that this House receive the report for an act to establish the National Institute for Organic Agriculture and Food Safety Research, Uloma North, Izuo Kwato, Abia State, and for related matters, HB 1280. Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I also move that this House receive the report for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for establishment of National Institute of Rubber Research and Technology, Ilushin, Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I also move that this House receive the report for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Cap 812 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Umbati, Buruku, Benue State, and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, finally, honorable colleagues, I rise to move that this House receive the report for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Food Technology, ALU, Yagba East, Kogi State, and for related matters, HB 1289. Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I thereby move.
Is the Deputy Chairman of the committee around? Deputy Chairman of the committee? No? Any seconder, please? Yes, Honorable Abdul.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Abdullahi Rashid, member representing Dukunafada Federal Constituency from Gombe State. I rise to second a motion that the House do receive the reports of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on HB 849, HB 1380, HB 737, and HB 572. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please can you proceed and lay your reports? Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Zaria, Kaduna State, to provide training and research in general nursing, midwifery, and other specialties of nursing and for related matters, standing in the names of Honorable Abbas Tajuddin and Honorable Abubakar Maki Eleman. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 4th March 2025. I now invite Honorable Eleman to move that the bill be read the second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamudori Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Zaria, Kaduna State, to provide training and research in general nursing, midwifery, and other specialties of nursing, and for the related matters, HB 2115 be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Ajilo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. My name is Umar Ajilo, member representing Magharibi Kudan, Federal Constituency. I am from Kaduna State. I rise to second the motion moved by my brother, Honorable Maki Eleman. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. With your kind permission, we just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. I didn't see Eleman standing up to thank members.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My honorable colleagues, thank you.
Mr. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Zaria, Kaduna State, to provide training and research in general nursing, midwifery, and other specialties of nursing and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to recognize and protect human rights defenders and enhance the capacity of the government of Nigeria to protect human rights defenders and for related matters. Standing in the names of Honorable Abiola Makinde and Honorable Mudashiru Lukman. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 10 December 2024. I now invite Honorable Makinde to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Abiola Peter Makinde. I represent the good people of Ondo East, Ondo West Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ondo State, the Sunshine State. I rise this morning to move that a bill for an act to recognize and protect human rights defenders and enhance the capacity of the government of Nigeria to protect human rights defenders and for related matters, HB 1867, be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Amen. Any seconder? Any seconder? Honorable Mudashiru.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Mudashiru Lukman Alani, representing the good people of Iwo Ayedire Olaoluwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Osun State. I rise this morning to second that the bill HB 1867 should be read for second time. I show second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Makinde, you agree with me that this bill requests some explanations. So please, if you can rise and give more details of what the bill is all about so that members can be well informed to take decision.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My respected colleagues, this National Human Rights Defender Protection Bill 1876 is a piece of legislation that seeks to enshrine the rights and protection of those who dedicate their lives to defending the fundamental freedom of all citizens. The significance of human rights defenders cannot be overstated. They are at the forefront of the struggle against injustice, holding the government and private entities accountable, advocating for the marginalized, and ensuring that the principles enshrined in our Constitution and international agreements are upheld. However, despite their noble effort, many human rights defenders in Nigeria face harassment, intimidation, violence, simply for standing up for justice and equality. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately...
Kabezi, be careful. Be careful, Kabezi.
Unfortunately, many of these brave...
No, it's Kabezi. I don't know of the order. You should be the one to be careful.
Right Honorable Speaker, unfortunately, many of these brave individuals face threats, harassment, violence, and even death. The bill seeks to ensure that Nigeria upholds its duty to protect these defenders and foster an environment where they can work safely. This bill, honorable members, aims to provide a comprehensive legal framework to recognize and protect human rights defenders. It guarantees their right to work without fear, to access information, to form organizations, to receive funding, and to communicate freely with both national and international human rights bodies. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, it ensures that no person shall be subjected to intimidation, reprisal, defamation, or any form of discrimination because of their human rights activities. Honorable members, Mr. Speaker, the bill aligns with international human rights standards and underscores Nigeria's commitment to protection of fundamental freedoms.
Honorable Isiaka, you are not doing your job well.
Some of the objectives of this bill: 1, to uphold that the rights and freedom are effectively protected and upheld; to protect unhindered access to places, information, and resources necessary for human rights work; to criminalize acts of intimidation and retaliation against human rights defenders; to mandate public authorities
Honorable Stanley, order.
To provide access to human rights-related information. Honorable members, another objective of the bill is to establish a dedicated mechanism for the protection of human rights defenders through the National Human Rights Commission. And we have some of the key provisions of the bill: recognition and protection of human rights defenders, rights of human rights defenders. Mr. Speaker, obligations of the state and non-state actors of this bill: 1 is the states take measures to ensure the safety and security of human rights defenders, and the non-state actors do not engage in acts of intimidation, violence, or discrimination against human rights defenders. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the passage of this bill is not only a legal necessity, but also a moral obligation. By enacting this law, Nigeria will join the ranks of progressive nations that value and protect human rights defenders, enhance Nigeria's credibility on the global stage as a nation that values and upholds human rights, and send a strong message that Nigeria stands firm in upholding human dignity, democracy, and the rule of law. I therefore urge my respected colleagues to support this bill, ensuring that those who defend our rights are themselves protected. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mudashiru, do you still want to add flesh, or you are satisfied with the explanation made concerning the bill?
Thank you very much,
Because
Mr.
you
Speaker.
are jointly
I'm well
sponsoring
satisfied
it.
with the explanation of the bill, sir.
Okay. So, honorable colleagues, you have heard. We can go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill to go for second reading should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to recognize and protect human rights defenders and enhance the capacity of government of Nigeria to protect human rights defenders and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Human Rights for further legislative action. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences Act to establish Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, Umuahia, Abia State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Obina Agwacha. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd July 2024. I now invite Honorable Agwacha to move that the bill be read a second time.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Obi Agwacha. I represent the great people of Iguano, Umuahia North, and Umuahia South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I rise this morning to present a bill for second reading, a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences Act to establish Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, Umuahia, Abia State, and for other related matters. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Njenje.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, very distinguished colleagues. My name is Njenje Obina Onwusibe. I represent the entire people of Isialangwa North, Isialangwa South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am an Ungba man from Abia State. I rise to second that this bill be read a second time. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Again, honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill which does not require much debate. So with your kind permission, we'll go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences Act to establish Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, Umuahia, Abia State, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Solid Minerals Development for further legislative action. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition in Tinga, Isiala, Ingwa North, Abia State to provide full-time courses, teaching instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Obina Onwusibe. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 30th April 2024. I now invite Honorable Onwusibe to move that the bill be read the second time.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Njenje Obina Onwusibe. I represent the entire people of Isialangwa North, Isialangwa South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am an Ngbaman from Abia State. I rise to move for a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition in Ntega, Isialangwa North of Abia State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. I move for it to be read a second time. I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Idu.
Mr. Speaker, I still remain Honorable Engineer Emeka Idu G. I represent the cosmopolitan and commercial city of Onitsha North and South Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second that the bill be read the second time. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Again, honorable colleagues, this is another establishment bill. So with your kind permission, we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skills Acquisition in Tiga, Isiala Ngwa North, Abia State, provide full-time courses, teaching instruction and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Alternative Education for further legislative action. The fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to upgrade the General Hospital Obi, Benue State, to Federal Medical Center, Obi, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable David Agada Ogeu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, July 19, 2023. I now invite Honorable Igeu to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Ogel David Agada, member representing Oju of the Federal Constituency and from Benue State, the food basket of the nation and a proud Digede son. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this morning I rise to move for the second reading of a bill for an act to upgrade the General Hospital of B local government of Benue State to establish a Federal Medical Center of B local government and for related matters. HB 163. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Bargaja.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Respected Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Bargaja Mohammed, representing Isa and Sampura constituency. I respond to the motion available by colleague Honorable Agada. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Again, this is an infrastructure-related motion, which again does not require much debate. So with your kind permission and with the leave of Honorable David, who is anxiously waiting for your consideration, we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to upgrade the General Hospital Obi, Benue State, to Federal Medical Center Obi and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The sixth order of the day is a motion on a call for the immediate release of innocent citizens of Okwama community in Ngugeli, south of Delta State, and the rebuilding of the community by the Nigerian Army, standing in the name of Honorable Francis Waeve. Honorable Waeve is invited to move the motion.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Francis Ejirogane Waeve, and I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State. I rise to move this motion for a call for the immediate release of innocent citizens of Okwama community in Ughelli South of Delta State and rebuilding of the community by the Nigerian Army. The House recalls the unfortunate killing of 17 soldiers on the 14th of March 2024, whose lifeless bodies were discovered in Okwama community in Ughelli South of Delta State, leading to the destruction of the community and arrest of members of the community by the Nigerian Army. Concerned that since the unfortunate event happened, the perpetrators of the crime have not been arrested, thereby sending a wrong signal, especially in the light of many reports in the press last year, where the Chief of Defense Staff claimed that the military knows the perpetrators of this heinous act. The House is also concerned that several innocent citizens, indigents of the community, including the President General of the community, Professor Ato Ekpokpo, Chief Honorable Bervis Adogo, Mr. Dennis Amaka, Ms. Okwama Mabel, and Pa James Uhoro, who died in custody, among others, were detained and have since been in detention. Worried that this week marks the 1-year anniversary of this tragic event, and the community members in the Army's custody have not been taken to court, neither have they been granted bail. The House notes that the affected community requested that a judicial inquiry be made to look into the facts of this event, an option that was not considered. Considered that the Committee on Defense conducted an investigation into the matter which the Army refused to participate in. Aware that the Nigerian Army decided to conduct their own investigations, I believe that by now, 1 year later, they should have had sufficient time to conclude the investigation. The House resolves to urge the Nigerian Army to release A, the report of their investigation, B, the detained innocent members of the community or charge them to court, C, rebuild the community homes destroyed by their men in the wake of this incident, and finally mandate the Committee on Defense to ensure compliance and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to this motion? Honorable Victor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Victor Obuzo. I represent the good people of Ahoda West, Oba, Egbema, Ndoni Federal Constituency. I'm from Rivers State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague, Honorable Waive. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Defense for further legislative action. The seventh order of the day is a motion on the need to block internet websites hosting pornographic contents and sanction defaulting internet service providers, standing in the name of Honorable Alatu Shehu Tafoki. Honorable Tafoki is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, very distinguished colleagues, I remain Honorable Engineer Shehu Alatu Tafoki, representing Paskari, Kankara Sabwa Federal Constituency. I'm from Katsina State. I rise to move a motion for the need to block internet website hosting pornographic content and sanction defaulting internet service providers. The House notes that cyber pornography is fast becoming a global problem and no concrete steps have been taken to curb the phenomenon of cyber pornography in Nigeria. Aware that Nigeria is a highly religious country and all the major religions in the country have forbidden nudity and obscenity in any form. Also note that countries across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East have enacted legislation that ban pornography in their domains. Aware that renowned psychologists and sociologists around the world have issued stern warning on this psychological, sociological, and mental consequences of viewing pornography contents. Concerned deeply that some of the immediate effects of viewing pornography contents include A, causing deception in marriage and which may later on affect family life. B, promoting adultery, prostitution, and many oral expectations that can result in dangerous, promiscuous behavior. C, leading to addiction, escalation, desensitization, and the acting out sexually by one person. D, change of attitude toward oneself and his family. Resolve 2. 1. Urge the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, to direct the internet service providers operating in the country to take immediate steps to block all websites that host obscene and pornography content. 2. Also urge the Nigerian Communication Commission to apply the full rigors of the Nigerian Communication Act and National Information Technology Development Act, NIDA, against the defaulting internet service providers. And finally, mandate the Committee of Communication and Legislative Compliance to ensure implementation and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Dr. Gali.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Dr. Gali Mustafa Tijani. I represent Alabasu Guarding Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay.
Amendments. Amendment, Mr. Speaker.
I will put the question again. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Communication and Information for further legislative action. The eighth order of the day is a motion on the need to find alternative ways of resettling or integrating indigenous and resettling other persons residing within FCT, standing in the name of Honorable Gaza Jonathan.
Order, please, members. Order, please.
Honorable
Order,
Gaza
order
is
in the House.
invited to move the motion. Order, please. Honorable Abijire.
I rise to move a motion on the need to find alternative ways of resettling or integrating indigenous and resettling other persons residing within the FCT. The House notes the initial misconception regarding the federal capital city as a no man's land, and Decree 3 of 1976, which created the federal capital city territory, and provided for the resettlement of persons within the territory. However, due to the high cost of implementation, the administration opted for part resettlement and integration. The House is aware that most of the land, especially the portion known as the Federal Capital City, has been provided with basic infrastructure. The House is also aware that in some parts, on some areas like parts of Garki, Jabi, Daki, Biumabushi, and Guzape, have areas of planned and unplanned settlements coexisting. The House is worried that the indigenous people are gradually being choked by urbanization, which is also destroying the cultural and historical heritage of the natives, while the same areas are currently turning into slums and safe havens for criminal activities. The House is also worried that the Department of Resettlement formulated 5 resettlement policies and initiatives at different times, but all have yielded little or no results. Cognizant that if this trend is left unchecked, it can lead to serious problems in the future. The House therefore resolves to, number one, urge the Federal Capital Administration to formulate policies to guide the resettlement practices within the FCT. Number two, mandate the Committee on FCT Area Councils and Auxiliary Matters to liaise with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and other alternative and profile alternative ways of resettling or integrating indigenous and other persons residing within the Federal Capital Territory, and also mandate the Committees on FCT, Area Council and Auxiliary Matters and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
The Leader of the Youth.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker, GCFR. My name is Olamiju Wonlo Ayodeji Alawakala. I represent the good people of Gumosho North, South, Orire Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the Pacesetter State, Oyo State. I rise this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, to second this motion as a...
Order, please. Order. Honorable Badao. Honorable Badao, please, can you go back to your seat? Otherwise, we'll relocate you to Kaduna State. You will leave Kano permanently. You and Honorable Alasan.
I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committees on Federal Capital Territory, area councils, and ancillary matters for further legislative action. The ninth order of the day is a motion on the need to revamp epileptic electricity in Barutel local government area of Kwara State, standing in the name of Honorable Mohammed Umar Bio. Honorable Bio is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues. Mohammed Omar Bio is my name. I speak for the people of Barutin and Kayama Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues. I'm from Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on the need to revamp epileptic electricity in Barutin local government area of Kwara State. The House notes that Barutin local government is one of the largest local governments in Nigeria, with a population of 209,459, has recorded during the 2006 population census, with several other communities and easy access to international trade. Also note that electricity is essential to modern life, as it powers homes and businesses, facilitate transportation, support healthcare, and generally improving the standard of living of our people. Concern that despite the enormous benefit of electricity, vantage location and abundant resources in the Barutin local government area of Kwara State, the locality has been in darkness in the last 9 years. Also concern that the lack of electricity is currently disrupting business operations, healthcare provisions, food storage, water access, personal safety, and the general living standard of the populace, neighboring states, and the Republic of Benin. Worried that the continuous blackout in Barutin local government area of Kwara State due to non-functional electricity endangered the well-being of residents. Cognizance of the need for the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company to revamp epileptic electricity in Barutin local government area of Kwara State. Resolves to urge the Federal Minister of Power, Rural Electrification Agency, to make prompt action to restore electricity in Barutin local government area of Kwara State. Mandate the Committee on Power, and rural electrification to ensure compliance and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder? Any seconder? Honorable Anka.
Thank you, able Speaker, my honorable colleagues. Honorable Isa Muhammad Anka is my name. I represent Anka Mafara constituency. I'm from Zamfara State. I rise to second this motion, heavily moved.
Honorable Ikenga, can you sit properly?
Heavily moved by Honorable Mohammed Omar. I so second, sir. Thank you very much.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Power and Rural Electrification for further legislative action. The 10th order of the day is consideration of two bills, standing in the names of Honorable Julius Ehovere, House Leader. Honorable Ehovere will move for their consideration.
Mr. Speaker, Professor Julius Ehovere, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to repeal the Insurance Act Cap 117, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the Marine Insurance Act, Cap M3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the Motor Vehicle Third-Party Insurance Act, Cap M22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria Act, Cap N54, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, the Nigerian Reinsurance Corporation Act, Cap N131, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2004 to provide for a comprehensive legal and regulatory framework for insurance business in Nigeria and for related matters, SB 393, be considered by the whole House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that SB 393 from Senate bill be considered by the whole House. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The 11th order of the day is consideration of report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to prohibit the exportation of maize in large commercial quantities out of Nigeria and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Thursday, 13 February 2025. Honorable Babajimi Benson will move for its consideration.
Order, please. Order, please.
Anguru. Kabezi.
Benson, you are moving. Come on, use it.
Honorable Faleke, you're okay.
I want to sit for Benson to move.
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the Iya Zazao, honorable colleagues, I remain Babajimi Benson, representing the good people of Ikorodu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to request that the House will consider the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to prohibit the exportation of maize in large commercial quantities out of Nigeria and for related matters, and approve recommendations therein. I so request, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Deputy Chair, Environment.
Mr. Chair, honorable colleagues.
Honorable Tese, your name is very difficult to pronounce.
Mr. Speaker, my name remains Honorable Tese Ubo. I represent Kwande Ushongo Federal. I'll come again, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Tese Ubo. I represent Kwande Ushongo Federal Constituency of Benue State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the presentation of the reports moved by my right honorable colleague, Honorable Babajide Benson. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Leader, you omitted 11 in your submission. Please, can you move?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted an opportunity to stand up a second time. And thank you for granting that. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the Southwest Development Commission, charged with the responsibility, among other things, to receive and manage funds from allocation of the Federation account, including donations and gifts for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of infrastructural damages suffered in the region, and to tackle the ecological, environmental, and other developmental challenges in the region, and for related matters, HB 283 be considered by the Committee of the Whole. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
The leader, minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that HB 283 be committed to Committee of the Whole. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable colleagues, the 12th order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish National Institute for Cardiovascular Disease Research and Treatment, Kano State, to provide treatment and research for cardiovascular cases and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, December 12, 2024. Honorable Patrick Kumo will move for its consideration. Honorable Patrick? Dr. Umo? Not around? The Deputy? Deputy Chair, Committee on Health Institutions? No? This motion is stepped down by the leave of the House. The House Leader, please, can you move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House will resolve to Committee of the Whole to consider the reports listed in the other paper. I so move.
Minority Leader, please, can you second?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. House resolved to the Committee of the Whole.
Honorable colleagues, the first bill to be considered is for an act to repeal the Insurance Act, Cap 117 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Marine Insurance Act, Cap M3 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Motor Vehicle Third Party Insurance Act, Cap M2 True Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria Act, Cap N 54, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Nigerian Reinsurance Corporation Act, Cap N 131, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and enact the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act, 2004, to provide for a comprehensive legal and regulatory framework for insurance business in Nigeria and for related matters. At this juncture, I invite Honorable Julius, the House Leader, to give the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. First is to acknowledge the relevant committee for taking on this very difficult task of bringing this array of legislation together in order to provide for us a holistic understanding and approach to the business of insurance in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the bill seeks to cure a lot of the gaps from whichever angle, whether it is the liquidator, the assured, or the insured, and to look at the institutions themselves when they go bankrupt, the role and functions of the liquidator, and how to get people more confident in the country about the business of insurance. The existing exact laws are 20 years old, and the world has changed massively. The world of insurance has also changed extensively, and so Nigeria must not lag behind. In the public sphere, Mr. Speaker, we have a lot of complaints about failure to meet up with the terms of insurance agreements, but this bill has addressed a lot of these gaps and tries to provide us with a direction to ensure that the insurance business meets the needs of Nigeria. I urge my colleagues to take a look at the various recommendations and pass this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader, for the elaborate explanation. Honorable colleagues, if you go through your documents, you realize that we have 1 to 232 clauses. Do we take them one after the other, or we take them all lump sum, assuming that we have all gone through? Have we gone through? Leader, have you gone through the 1 to 232? Minority Leader, have you gone through the 1 to 232 clauses? It's concurrence, Abi. So, clauses 1 to 232 carried. The schedules carried. Explanatory memorandum carried. The long title of the bill carried. Thank you very much. The long title carried. Thank you, honorable colleagues. The second bill to be considered is for an act to establish Southwest Development Commission charged with the responsibility, among other things, to receive and manage funds from allocation of the Federation account, including donations and gifts for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of infrastructural damages suffered in the region, and to tackle the ecological, environmental, and other developmental challenges in the region and for related matters. I invite Honorable Julius Ehovery, the House Leader, to give the synopsis of this bill.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. This is very straightforward, and this is because we've considered this bill here, but a few amendments needed to be done, and these have been corrected as presented in the document before us. This is just in line with the other development commissions, and once we approve this and it goes through, it will remain only the South-South. I urge my colleagues to approve this bill so that the Southwest Development Commission can receive assent and begin to perform the role of promoting socioeconomic growth in the Southwest and bring it at par with other development regions in the country. I so present, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. This is the last opportunity we have for people of the Southwest, state by state, to look at their constituencies and see the one that is not befitting to be part of this development commission. Is there anyone who has any objection to Ikorodu being part of this development commission? Jenai, we should remove. Oh. Honorable Azay.
Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, my name is Ahmed Idris, representing Wasai. Mr. Chair, sorry, representing Wasai Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I so much love my people and I want them to have this. But the reports are that it's written doesn't take the format of what is conference committee reports are. What is written here?
What is the conference about? Area of disagreement between the House and the Senate?
Yes, sir. It's either we take Senate version or House version. And that's what it stated. Here it said retain, delete. That's not how conference report is written.
The chairman, rules and business, can you shed more light?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether His Excellency is mistaking the...
I was told only one clause.
Yes,
one
only
clause
one
is
clause,
under
this is
dispute,
clause
right?
we are dealing with.
Which is clause 14.
Yes, it is the maize bill that we adopted, Senate version. For this, it's a joint acceptance. It's the same thing in the Senate and the same thing here.
But what he's saying is that the format followed here is...
In the maize one, the Senate version was at Southwest. I don't see a problem here, sir.
Okay, let's take a contribution from Honorable Faleke, and then you talk.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, my name is James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Ikeja. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The observation of the honorable Wasai is correct in terms of presentation. Rather than have deletes, we are adopting Senate version. Senate version adopted. Thank you very much.
So all that we are seeing here is the Senate version?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied, Honorable Wasai? I thought it's not the issue of which version, but the presentation format is what he is talking about. But if we can create clarity so that members will know what they are approving, I think it will be better.
Because of time, sir, if what is here is the Senate version, what they are supposed to do is to have given us the version of the House of Reps and the version of the Senate, and then the comment will say House version adopted.
This is
or
what
Senate
you are
version
taking.
Adopted. Thank you, but I think we can make progress, sir, on trust.
Okay, please take note for further communications in the future. Let's make sure that we do the right thing. Is that overtaken by event, or you still want to say something?
Yes, sir. Chairman, sir, Agbedi Frederick is my name. I represent Sabama Kremo Federal Constituency. As I'm from Bayelsa. Mr. Chairman and honorable colleagues, I think this bill was passed by the House, but there were issues that Mr. President queried. So what we have here is a deletion of those things that Mr. President decided that should not be in the bill. And so I don't think that it is wrong to just have the deletions and pass. They are not issues of harmonization. But Mr. President said there were certain things that, run counter to certain provisions in the Constitution, and they cannot be allowed to remain as we passed it. I think that's the deletion that
nobody has any argument concerning that. It is the issue of presenting both the Senate version, the House version, and the one that has been adopted that was the bone of contention. and we have sorted that out. Thank you for your contribution. Yeah, the procedure. So, honorable colleagues, without any waste of time, I refer you to the document, and I think it has only one clause for our consideration. That is clause 14, 14.1, 14.1 carried, 14.2 carried. I think that's all. Thank you. I think that's all for this particular bill. Honorable colleagues, the next bill or report is in respect of the bills to establish the National Institute for Cardiovascular, but this is stepped down, right? It's stepped down because there was no any presentation made. Any other one? Yes. On the maize. Yes, honorable colleagues, we have the conference committee report on a bill for an act to prohibit the exportation of maize or its derivatives in large commercial quantities out of Nigeria for related matters, HB 1509. And again, this one has also only one clause, clause 1 only. It has only clause 1. Are we ready? Clause 1 carried. Explanatory memorandum carried. The long title of the bill carried. Thank you very much. Honorable Jimmy, no appreciation.
Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Ẹ ṣé o.
Thank you very much, honorable colleagues. Leader of the House, please can you move for us to revert back?
Mr. Speaker, Professor Julius Ihonvere, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State, rise to move that the House do resolve to plenary, and for the chairman of Committee of the Whole to give a report as Speaker to the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minority Leader.
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, I second the motion that the House do revert back to plenary to report progress.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. House has resolved back to plenary. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to repeal the Insurance Act, Cap 117, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Marine Insurance Act, Cap M3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Motor Vehicle Third Party Insurance Act, Cap M22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria Act, Cap N54, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, the Nigerian Reinsurance Corporation Act, Cap N131, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and enact the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act to provide for a comprehensive legal and regulatory framework for insurance business in Nigeria and for related matters. And in so doing, approved clauses 1 to 232, the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill.
Honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to establish Southwest Development Commission charged with the responsibility, among other things, to receive and manage funds from allocation of the Federation account, including donations and gifts for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of infrastructural damages suffered in the region, and to tackle the ecological, environmental, and other developmental challenges in the region and for related matters. And in so doing, approve Clause 1 and the long title of the bill. Honorable colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to prohibit the exportation of maize in large commercial quantities out of Nigeria and for related matters. And in so doing, state down consideration. The House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to prohibit the exportation of maize in large commercial quantities out of Nigeria and for related matters, and in so doing, approve the report of the Conference Committee. Leader of the House, please can you move for the House to adopt the reports?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House do adopt the reports from the Committee of the Whole as ably and efficiently and effectively rendered by Mr. Speaker as working documents of this House. I so move.
The Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, we have some announcements. The first one is coming from the Chairman Committee on Finance, and the message reads as follows. Meeting of Leadership with Special Committee on Tax Reform. The message reads as follows. This is to inform all members of the leadership that a meeting with the Special Committee on Tax Reform has been scheduled ahead of the consideration of his reports. The details are as follows. Date, Tuesday, 11th March, 2025. Time, 2 p.m. Venue, room 414. All members of the leadership and the Special Committee are expected to attend. We have an announcement coming from Honorable Adamu Hashimuranga, and his message reads as follows. I am happy to announce as the chairman, I'm happy to announce Honorable Adamu Hashimuranga as the chairman of the Nigeria-Gambia Friendship Group. I think the member is in a hurry for his name to be announced. And the format followed is, I think, not... but it's just to let the Honorable House know that Honorable Adamu Hashimuranga has been appointed as the chairman of the House Committee on Nigeria-Gambia Friendship Group. So, Honorable Hashimu, can you please stand up for recognition if you are still around? Hashimu Ningi. Well, I'm happy that he has not gone to North Africa, where Honorable Jimmy used to go. If it is just Gambia, it is in order. On a sad note, honorable colleagues, we received an information from our brother, Honorable Engineer Sagir Aikoki, and his message reads as follows. Notice of death of my daughter. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. With a heavy heart and submission to Allah's will, I write to inform you of the sudden death of my beloved daughter, Hawa Sagir Koki. She died while undergoing medical care at an Egyptian hospital. While I crave for the prayers of the entire house, for my family at this trying moment, may Allah grant her Jannatul Firdaus. Sincerely yours, Honorable Engineer Sagir Koki. But before we rise for a minute silence, let me announce the composition of another committee on the pipeline, is it vandalization? Monitoring also. The motion we passed earlier, of which we promised to constitute another committee. The membership of the committee is as follows. Honorable Dr. Gali will be the chairman of the committee. Members will be Honorable Ayuba Zaku Dempar, Honorable Ibe Opara Osonwa, Honorable Jimbo I. Clement, Honorable Seka Zua Iodom, Honorable Olushola Fatoba, Honorable Tukura Kabir, Honorable Umar Jeremiah, Honorable Aguacha Obina, Honorable Komati Bitrus Laori, Honorable Adamu I. Gamawa, Honorable Midala U. Bilami, Honorable Kosada A. Haya, Honorable Zakaria David, Honorable Moshid Olare, Honorable Khadija Bukar, Honorable Stanley Adediji, Honorable Mark Esset, Honorable Odi Okoji as the co-chair, Honorable Ojogo Donald as member. Honorable colleagues, please shall we rise for a minute silence. May her soul rest in peace. The leader of the House, please can you move for adjournment?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the House do adjourn to tomorrow, Wednesday, same venue, same time. I so move.
The minority leader, please can you second? Leader, your mic.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House has adjourned to tomorrow, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Thank you very much.